Hey guys, it is 6:25 in the morning and I am headed to the hospital for a 24-hour OB shift, and I thought that I would bring you guys along. Interrupt this what? What are we interrupting? We interrupt this broadcast to introduce you to Millie, who's my favorite person in the world. She's our anesthesia tech and I love her.
I love her too.
My YouTube viewers need to be introduced to you because you're so amazing. Millie's the best. I should put on my mask. It's COVID times. I really should put on my mask.
Good Lord. Come on, I know you ain't got COVID.
Thank you, I hope not. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the complicated patient we have.
So you gonna do an art line?
Yeah, I'm gonna do an art line and we're gonna hook that up to it also. Okay. Hey guys, so now we have a interesting patient. We normally patients for C-sections are usually young and healthy and don't have cardiac problems, but today we actually have a really interesting patient who is coming in with a pretty significant cardiac history. She had what we call a ventral septal defect, which is where you have a hole in the septum that separates the ventricles of your heart. And even though that was repaired when she was a baby, she does have residual damage to her heart left over. And so we worry after C-sections about the amount of blood that goes from the uterus to the rest of the body, and that can put somebody in what we call congestive heart failure. And she's already at higher risk for going into congestive heart failure because she's had a history of congestive heart failure before with this cardiac issue that she has. So we're gonna do what is called invasive monitoring today, where we put in an IV into an artery. It's called an art line, and that enables us to look at the blood pressure from moment to moment, and we can also hook that art line up to another device that allows us to look at all the fluids in the heart and allows us to make sure that we don't give her too much fluid so that she doesn't go into congestive heart failure. So our cardiac patient did really well in that C-section. Everything went super well. She's in recovery room. We were really busy today on the floor with C-sections, so I'm doing the C-sections and one of my partners is doing the labor epidurals. And then later on today, when things quiet down, I will take over the floor and I'll do both the labor epidurals and the C-sections when things aren't quite as busy. So I'm headed off to do another C-section now for a baby who is premature. The baby is only 32 weeks. Normal gestational period is 38 to 42 weeks. And the baby has a cardiac defect, so we are going to have the NICU there present at the birth to be ready in case the baby does not do well once it comes out of the mom's uterus. So we're getting that patient ready to go for another C-section, and I will check in with you guys in a little bit. Bye. So little detour right now. My really good friend's husband is having open heart surgery today, so I'm just running up to the cardiac OR to check on him and so that I can give her a little bit of a report and so she won't be so nervous. So yeah, that's where I'm headed right now. It's hard to talk to the camera and walk at the same time. He was doing great. I looked at the echo with his anesthesiologist. He looked fantastic, so I was really, really happy to call my friend and let her know that her hubby is doing awesome. He is about to be done with his heart surgery and he will be going up to recovery. So yeah, good news, yay, great day. All right, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, so I just finished, wait, let me take off my mask so you guys can hear me. I just finished 5 C-sections and I have 3 more to go. It is now 3:30 in the afternoon. This has been an interesting day, you guys. We've done a patient with a cardiac problem, a baby with cardiac problems, and I have 2 sets of twins to do a C-section for now. So this has been a really interesting day. On a side note, can we talk about this little portable ring light that I have on my camera? Like, I noticed that it was like shining off of my glasses this morning. Looks so slick, right? Not quite. Anyhow, I'll keep you guys posted. Okay, so I just finished my last twin C-section. It's near 7. I am gonna grab dinner and then I will be on the floor doing epidurals and C-sections for the rest of the night. I will keep you posted. We'll do some learning. There's not much I can show you guys with the epidurals, obviously, because I can't take you into rooms with me, but I will definitely keep you posted along the way. Hey guys, a nurse just called me asking me if I would go speak to a patient because the patient was concerned that she might not be able to get an epidural because she suffers from sciatica. So I just wanted to share with you guys, if you suffer from sciatica, it is not a problem. You can still have an epidural. Other things that I've been asked by patients in the past are, can I have an epidural if I have a ruptured disc? The answer is yes. Can I have an epidural if I have kyphosis? The answer is yes. And also, can I have an epidural if I have scoliosis? And that is definitely yes. Scoliosis does not prevent you from getting an epidural, and in most cases, it really doesn't even make getting an epidural in any more difficult than a regular back. So the one thing that does come to mind that really does make getting an epidural a little bit complicated is if you have scoliosis, but you have had rods put in your back, like when you were a child, that really does complicate the epidural because normally, let me give you a little bit of explanation about the epidural space. The epidural space is what we call a potential space, which means that typically that space is collapsed. And we can expand that space if we put, say, medicine in it. It's very similar to a balloon. If you think about a balloon, it's got potential space in it. When there's nothing in it, it's collapsed. But if you put air or water in it, it will expand. So when we inject medicine into the epidural space, it expands. But when you have rods put in your spine and you have back surgery like that, typically the epidural space becomes scarred down either the whole way or in certain spots, and it makes the space very, very difficult to open. So it's very difficult to inject medicine into that space. And even if you're able to inject a little bit of medicine into certain spots, you don't know what those spots are because you don't know where the scar tissue is. So it becomes very, very complicated to get an epidural in. And many times that space becomes so scarred down that when you try to put a needle through it, you actually go through the space and into what we call the spinal space, where we have cerebrospinal fluid. I pulled up a picture so I could give you a little bit of a visual here. When we do an epidural, we're coming in from over here with the needle, and we go through the skin, some subcutaneous fat, through a couple of ligaments between the bones, and into the epidural space, which is black on this picture. Now, if your epidural space is scarred down because you've had back surgery, we go all the way through that space and into the CSF, into the spinal space, where the CSF is, and there are also some nerves hanging in there. Those are called the cauda equina. But that is the reason why it's more complicated to get an epidural if you've had rods in your spine from scoliosis. So I just thought that I would give you guys a little bit of an explanation about that. Stay tuned because in the next couple of months, I'm going to be doing lots of videos on all things related to epidurals, what the known complications of epidurals can be, what complications people think exist but are not actually complications of epidurals. Lots and lots of different things on epidurals, so stay tuned. I'm in the doctor's call lounge with my OB friend, Tiffany.
Hi everybody!
She's delivering babies tonight,
We are.
and
This is what we do.
we're gonna see how it goes. Wish us luck, because it's raining, and that may mean it's crazy.
Means lots of babies are coming.
That's right. All right.
Tornadoes.
Bye, guys. Hey guys, it is 11:30 p.m. I think I am done for the moment with all of my work on the floor. I just finished putting in an epidural, and it was kind of a crazy night because my friend that you guys just saw in that vlog with me ran to the call room door and she knocked on it and she was like, "There's a tornado outside your neighborhood." Apparently she had heard from the weather that there was a tornado right at the front of my neighborhood. She knows where I live, and so she was like, tell your husband to get the kids into the bathroom. So I called my husband. I was like, "Do you have the kids in the bathroom? Like, do you have them in the powder room?" It's the only room we have in our house that is without windows is our powder room downstairs. He was like, "Yes, taken care of. We're watching a movie in the powder room." So I was happy that he had gotten the memo because apparently I had not. So thanks to Tiffany, I knew that there was a tornado in my neighborhood. I was really worried that my husband was going to start calling me, telling me that, the umbrellas from the patio were flying, through our windows in the back. But thankfully, I did not get a call like that. Funny enough, it turns out that there are lots and lots of obstetricians, labor and delivery nurses, anesthesiologists that believe that when you have a change in barometric pressure that comes with either a big rainstorm or a cold front coming in, that more people go into labor, that it causes membranes to break. And for ladies to go into labor, we tend to have much, much busier nights when there are rainstorms or cold fronts coming in. And, I hadn't looked at that, but I just did a quick Google search on it. Turns out there is some literature in it. A 2007 study that was published in the Journal Archives of Gynecology and Obstetrics states that causal relationship was noted between the number of rupture of fetal membranes, delivery, and barometric pressure, suggesting that low barometric pressure does induce rupture of fetal membranes and delivery. So, we have anecdotal evidence, meaning evidence from just working a lot and seeing things that happen. And we also apparently have a little bit of published evidence as I'm Googling it, because I didn't know that before I Googled it, that people do in fact go into labor when it's raining. So we will see what this night brings. I'm kind of expecting to have a busy night because there was rainstorms and tornadoes tonight. We will see what happens, but I am going to attempt to lie down now and try to get a few hours of sleep, because tomorrow I want to film a video for you guys. That video that I'm filming tomorrow is probably going to go up actually before this vlog. But I'm going to film my last video answering your COVID questions. The one that's going up tomorrow is going to address antibody testing and kind of, the shortcomings of antibody testing, and kind of what they are good for and what they're not so good for. It's also going to address the idea of herd immunity. So hopefully, if you have not already watched that, tune in to that. I will link it in the cards above, so you can tune into that video. If you are not subscribed, obviously you should be subscribed to my channel. Hit all your notifications so that you never miss any uploads. I've got some really good content coming up. Okay, that was a pitch for my channel at 11:30 at night while I'm at the hospital on call, but it's okay. I will see you guys the next time I wake up. Well, guys, I ended up getting up last night and doing 2 to 3 more epidurals, and I got probably 3 hours of sleep. It is now 7:00 a.m. It has been 24 hours, and I am going home. I'm so excited. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that 24 hours in the life of an anesthesiologist, and I will look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye!